watch the movie again, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is it, because this was my sharing appointment. This was me. And I was just watching it again, thinking about, well, Laura wasn't exactly dancing on top of the tables at Panera, but she really was right there telling me, come to the other side. And I was telling her, no way. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. This really was a perfect illustration of my sharing appointment with Laura 8 years ago. You see, 8 years ago, I was living a very comfortable life, much like Zac Efron's character in the movie and how he describes, I was doing fine. I was a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids. They were finally all in school, so I could finally take a breather and have time for myself. I wasn't looking for another job, to take up all my time and my energy. I was looking forward to just relaxing and having a little bit of me time. My husband had a great executive job. I had traveled the world. We had a nice house. I lived in a good neighborhood. Great family. What else could I need, right? And that sharing appointment, there was a lot of back and forth, just like in the movie. There were the objections, there was the offer, the rejection, the reconsideration, and the deal. And I really was not looking to take a ride on the other side. I didn't know what that other side even was. Because you see, where I came from, I was a classroom teacher in elementary school. And I knew how to work hard. I knew how to follow the rules and make lesson plans. I got paid according to my pay scale. Nothing more, nothing less. You clock in, you clock out. We weren't supposed to go off script. We followed a curriculum. We gave standardized tests. We enjoyed a 20-minute lunch break. No frills, no flash, nothing fancy, right? That's what I did. As a stay-at-home mom, it was laundry, it was taking care of kids, it was carpool, it was make dinner, and make sure everybody, ate their vegetables. So this was not at all on my radar. I was not the type to do anything like this. And so when Laura shared with me about this, I was only doing it to help a friend. I enjoyed Mary Kay products because I liked one color of lipstick. That was the only color I wore. And she told me I could get it for free. So I came to do the sharing appointment only for that reason. But what I did, when I did my sharing appointment with Laura, it was it got me thinking. And it was a time in my life when I was thinking about going back to work, back to teaching. But I didn't want to have that full-time job. I liked having my free time. I liked having the ability to be there for my kids. I was also taking care of my grandma, and I wanted to continue with that schedule. And back to work in a classroom would not have allowed me to do that. So there was some searching going on. But I had no idea what God had in store for me. And really, if I was being honest, deep inside, probably so far down that I didn't even recognize it, there was the aching, that feeling that there was something more, like Amber talked about. Is this really all that I have, or could there be something more in me that I could be able to give to the world? But I didn't even have a clue what that could be. So I listened to Laura very hesitantly, just like Zach does. I was very afraid, just like he was, of what people would think of me. I didn't want to be, that weird person, that different person, like he was saying in the song. He says, disgraced, disowned, another one of those clowns. I didn't want to be one of those pushy salespeople. So I said, no, this isn't for me. I don't want to be like that. I had those uptown friends that I was afraid would look down on me for joining Mary Kay. I have a master's degree. I don't need this for the money. So what would they do? Would they talk behind my back? Would they laugh at me? Would they see it like he says in the song, like picking up peanut shells? And that was really hard to get through. But I decided to try. There was just some little voice inside me that said, maybe this could be something. Because when I looked at Laura and I saw the freedom that she had, the influence, the prosperity, her happy marriage, her ability to be there with her children, and maybe it wasn't very sensible, really didn't make sense sense to me. It was not conventional, and it was definitely more of a risk than going back to something that I already knew. I decided to do it. I don't even know why. Remember when I signed up, Laura, I looked at you like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. And I was scared, but I saw that Laura was making it work. And she had joy in her life, purpose, balance, priorities, and that really attracted me. And in a way, I did feel trapped in my cage of sorts. You know, that comfortable place, it can also be a cage. And that's where I felt I was. A cage of doing what was typical. A cage of not really being in control of my time and my destiny. The cage of drudgery and just repetition and not really having that challenge, you know? So I decided, what if Mary Kay could hold that key to open the cage? Would I be able to fly free to the other side? Interestingly enough, when I was writing this speech and thinking about the back and forth between the two men, Zac Efron, when he's talking about it and wondering if it would be for him or not, he never asks or thinks, maybe I'm not good enough. You know, he had never been a ringmaster. He had never done anything in the circus, but did he ever say to himself, oh, but I've never been in a circus before. I don't know if I could do this. But as women, don't we always say that? When we share with women, they always think, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I would be, you know, I don't have the training. And sometimes we need to think like men a little more and think, you know what, I'll figure it out. I'm good enough. I've been successful in other things. I can do this too. And for some reason, even though I had no training in this, no business experience, I decided in a moment of fear, excitement, and hope just to do like he did. And I traded my typical for something colorful. And I began my journey as a Mary Kay consultant. And lucky for me, I didn't have to negotiate my percentage like he did. I get 50%, right? Just like everybody else.
Yeah.
So what has my life been like on the other side? I can tell you this ride has been so much more exciting and fulfilling. The other side has opened me to a new world that is definitely more colorful in so many ways. The fun trips, the diamonds, the fancy seminar gowns, walking across stage, the girlfriends, my hotel slumber parties, and we have laughed and laughed so much in Mary Kay, more than I ever would in any kind of other opportunity. And of course, the extra money and opportunities it's given to my family. In Mary Kay, I've been able to fly and learning to embrace me and my own gifts, not worrying about what other people think, has been the greatest gift. It's more valuable than riches, fame, or a safe, stable job. In Mary Kay, I've grown confidence to talk to all kinds of people, understand other personalities, deal with challenging ups and downs. Best of all, show love to women who deserve to be loved for the beautiful people that they are. And that's the gift that I get to give away, but it's the gift that blesses me more richly in return. And all the while doing all of that, I love that I have been able to be a role model for my family, showing them that taking risks does pay off. I don't want my kids to be trapped in a cage. I want them to fly free. And I am showing them how to spread their wings and go, maybe to the other side that frightens them too. But by taking my Mary Kay risks and getting out of my comfort zone, I have shown them how to do it. I have let my kids watch me and learn that all the good things come from outside of your comfort zone. And if I had not taken my Mary Kay risk, I would not have been able to teach them that as authentically as I do now. I would have been just telling them and speaking words, but with this I've been able to show them for real what it looks like. And that's such a great gift that I've been able to give. When I do sharing appointments with moms who are afraid to step over to the other side because of the fear of what others will think of them, or fears if they can do this and take care of their family, I just ask them, what is the example that you want to set for your own children? They are watching you. They're watching how you live. How are you challenging yourself? How are you stretching yourself? We tell our kids, you got to believe in yourself. You got to take risks. You got to be persistent, be determined. But if we aren't doing that ourselves, how can we sit there and tell do it. And what I want all of you to know is that when you embrace what scares you, what may cause you to feel like you're crazy and you're doing something totally out of the ordinary, very unconventional, or you have, or when your friends think that you ran off and joined a crazy pink circus, that's when you are in the right place. That's when you're trusting God to fill the gaps that you may have. And you are opening up your heart so that it may be broken, but it's also where you will fall so deeply in love with your business and the people in it. And at the end of the song, did they show that part? I don't think they showed that part. But at the very end, he looks into the eyes of the acrobat woman and he starts to fall in love. And that's because he made that decision to come over to the other side. He never would have had all those encounters with all those amazing people, that crazy cast of characters. But I feel so blessed that that was part of my journey too. And to me, that personal heart-to-heart connection that I get to make with the women in my unit, that is the greatest gift. And I have fallen in love with each of them, my bold believers. I love you. Can you stand up and be recognized?